Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Ryal Thomas. This evening, the title of the show is titled Through the Eyes of a Child. And with saying that, there are so many things, I'm pretty sure that you guys out there remember. I know I remember some things, some good things, some not so good things, but, we have to seriously sit back and think about, what children are being exposed to today. And like I said, we can all remember our childhood and think about some things that we presently think about today as an adult, because things were so impressionable at that particular time, leaving a picture in our mind of what may have happened in a good way, what may have happened in a bad way, but it stays with us for life, depending on what type of emotion it triggered, what type of feeling, what type of impact, I should say, that it actually had on us at that particular time. But I get a little confused, sometime, and me being older now, and pretty sure some of the viewers, of course, as well, I don't think that we really stop and take enough time to really realize what we may be exposing our children to. There's a lot of things going on in the world today that I wouldn't want my child to grow up with. A lot of hate, is being displayed. A lot of acts of crime are being displayed. And you don't know what that is doing. You don't know what that's putting in the spirit, in the soul of a child. It may confuse that child for the rest of his or her life. And we do not, as adults, want to be caught up with children who are so confused about their childhood and so confused about the direction in which they may go in because of what we as adults have allowed them to see. We need to be accountable for some of these things, and sometimes, we think it's okay to carry our children in different places, and you want children to have proper exposure. You want them to see and have diversity in their life because, there's not one particular group of people that you want them to be exposed to because not one group of people actually runs the world. Regardless of what you may think or what you may read or what you may hear, there are groups of all people, of all races, of all love, of all things in life that contributes towards making the world what it is today. And that's why you want to try. We should always try to expose children to the best things possible. And not saying that they shouldn't see some things that may be a little bit questionable so they will understand that the world is not always good. Because kids can make up their own mind. The innocence of a child, sometimes, as a child grows, they can put things together if they have the proper individuals in their life, if they have proper exposure with people explaining to them, this is why this happened, this is why that happened. You need a responsible person in a child's life to show them and give them good direction in life, just proper direction in life. I happened to be, at a facility a while back, or yes, I'm going to leave it like that. I happened to see, let me just rephrase that. I happened to see children being escorted out of a place due to a certain amount of language that was going on. And these children were there to express themselves. They were there to express themselves, to show their appreciation, to just get involved in something. But there were several individuals there, speaking in such a way where I'm pretty sure the adult in the group did not feel comfortable with exposing the children to such, which I thought made a good move in removing the children, because here you have children wanting to get involved with things, wanting to structure their thoughts, structure their life to be a contributing factor, a positive contributing factor to whatever they wanted to talk about. And here we are as adults saying and acting in such a way where now may have destroyed their will or their desire to even get involved with public concerns. See, these are things that we must take into consideration, because, it's an old saying, but the children, they are our future. Regardless of, we may think that we're in control now, but these children are growing up in a time where technology is advancing in a way that it wasn't advancing the way, when we were coming up, but it's advancing in a way where children are using computers, they have their cell phones, these kids are going to make a difference. And they're not only going to make a difference in their lives, they're going to make a difference in our lives. In our lives, they're going to do this. These children are going to extend our life through medicine, through technology, through all type of things that we do not even see for ourselves right now. So why would we limit them by exposing them to a bunch of things, or maybe I should say a lot of things, that's not in the best interest of us? See, when we do this, we are not actually, to a certain degree, we're not actually hurting them to a certain degree. We're actually hurting the longevity of ourselves, because they're going to be coming up with cures. They're going to be coming up with inventions. And these inventions and these cures that they come up with, these medical cures that they come up with, man, they're going to extend our life. Some of the problems and situations that we face, presently, hey, these kids are going to come through with a breakthrough, and you may be 60, 65, 70 years old, 80 years old, and you're feeling good about yourself. You're feeling good, but you have this disease that's been playing and been in you for so many years. Now all of a sudden you're ready to live, but you may be on your way out due to the disease that you may have, and all of a sudden this child comes up with a cure. These individuals come up with a cure where they extend your life. There are breakthroughs coming every day. Someone is getting closer to curing something. So why stop it? Why stop a child from growing? See, through the eyes of a child, they need to see the best in life. They need to see people working together. They need to see love. They need to see commitment. They need to see togetherness. You cannot separate a child because of a child's race, background, or whatever the case may be, because what you're doing is you are slowing down the progress of advancement. Because see, one child can think of one thing, regardless of what their nationality may be. But if you get 10 children together, look at the information that they can come up with once they put their little innocent brains together and think about things that you and I haven't thought about when we were children. The advancement for life, the longevity for life increases because of the exposure of all the children putting their brains together, putting their minds together, putting their friends together, putting their work together. These are the things that we need to be concerned about. So when You are exposing, when we, I should say, I'm sorry, when we are exposing children to the negative side of life, man, no good comes out of it. No good comes out of it, because you may be a parent that wants to say negative things to your child. And through the eyes of a child, you may be arguing or having a problem with the relationship that you happen to be in, with your marriage. You have no idea how this child is absorbing this. You have no idea how this child is interpreting this. And then you wonder why the child is doing bad in school, or the child doesn't trust other adults, or the child is shying away from a group of people, or the child doesn't, he shakes or she shakes when somebody screams or somebody hollers. It bleeds. It bleeds into their soul. It bleeds into their spirit. It bleeds into their confidence. You're actually ruining the will of that child. You're not even giving that child time to even gather enough strength to even understand what's going on before you are exposing this child to something that it shouldn't be exposed to. But what I'm trying to tell you is this: we all make mistakes, and every now and then we all have outbursts. You know, whether it's in a marriage or whether it's on a job, but we need to be careful when there are children around, because we may be trying to get a point across to another adult, but when there are children in the room, you must understand the damage. You must realize the damage that we are presently doing to that child. And we may ignore it and look at it as a small thing. But when you have these kids growing up and wanting to be killers and wanting to be a bully, how can a child so innocently be pushed in the direction of bullying another child? That's not a genetic thing. That's not a genetic thing where a child wants to bully another child. See, that's something that has been put in that bully's spirit, in that bully's soul. That child may be reaching out for attention because he or she may not be getting the attention at home, or he or she has heard something in a negative manner, or seen something in a negative manner, or felt weak in a certain situation. So now he or she has to go to school and prove that he or she is somebody. Look at me. I now have attention. So why would we expose a child to something like that, knowing in the end that it's going to hurt us? These are things that we must be careful about. You know, when I see a child running around and having fun and laughing and playing with their friends, it's like a flower. Man, it's like a flower blooming. It's a flower blooming when you see the smile of a child. Man, do you have any idea the energy, the growth, the love that they are sharing, because they're so innocent at that particular point? They haven't been tampered with by the world to a certain degree. So why not water that plant and watch it grow? So the water that we use to grow plants would be the love that we use to grow a child's mind, to grow a child's future. See, through the eyes of a child, they are absorbing everything. Through the eyes of a child, they are looking at everything. And what they see is what they interpret. What they see is what they feel. And if you put enough love in front of them, you put enough care in front of a child and show them that they can do just about anything, you encourage their will, you encourage their growth, and in return, they bring longevity to us. So doing the right thing with children is an investment for all of us, for everyone in the world. They are our investments. So why not invest in them with love? Why not do that? Why not give them the opportunities that we want? You give them the opportunity to do what they can do, they're going to return it to us. They're prophets in investing love with children. There is someone out there right now that has a child that's way beyond his time, or her time, I should say. They are talking right now, and saying things right now, and asking questions that adults would ask. These are little geniuses running around, knowing that they can make a difference. You know that they're going to make a difference in the world. You know they're going to make a difference in your life and in their life. Why not nurture that so we can reap the benefits of youthful thinking? We reap those benefits. So when we see children wanting to do something or wanting to go over here and play and do certain things, don't hold them back too much. Don't hold them back too much. Let them explore. Let them explore their mind. But when you have a child that's innocent in their mind, and you take their little mind and confuse it with hate, when you confuse it with hate because of the hate or the treatment that you may have received as a child, you must remember that's a child. That's a different person. Do you actually want to promote what has actually held you back all your life because you couldn't get something together, or maybe someone didn't spend enough time with you to show you what true love was all about? And if you feel that feeling and you want to pass that feeling down to your children or your grandchildren, I don't know what to say other than the fact that prayer needs to be somewhere, and you need to be real with yourself and understand that you will do more harm to the future of this generation with that child because of your feelings of a past generation. You cannot push a past generation of feelings onto a child that's presently moving towards the future of life, of their life. See, things are going to change. And I will say this, love always prevails. I don't care what you think or what you're being exposed to right now on the media, in public. Things are going to get better. Because see, one thing about good and one thing about love It takes time. It takes time. But see, time keeps moving. Time keeps moving. See why these little pockets of hate over here and pockets of hate over there. See, they're there temporarily. They're there temporarily because, see, the majority of people understand the advancement of love. And see, and the majority of people will keep pushing love, will keep pushing love until it breaks. See, in some cases, dams that hold back water, enough pressure is put on them. Enough water coming downstream will eventually start to crack a dam. And eventually that water will come on through and flood things out of the way. See, that's how love is. See, love will eventually keep pushing forward. Love will keep pushing forward. And eventually, the pockets of hate will realize the strength of love. And see, through the eyes of a child, they need to see that. They need to understand that. So when children are in the picture, when children are around, the better we act, the more profits we receive from children. The more you reach out and hold a child's hand and look at that child in the eyes and talk to them and explain to them what just happened, and maybe after a bad incident or maybe something they have witnessed and they may be confused. You take them to a good environment, maybe where there are birds flying, where there are geese swimming in the pond, where there are dogs running around, and where there are other children playing. See, when you expose them to good, at the same time, you're talking to them about good and trying to help them understand maybe what they have just witnessed. See, good has a way of creeping in and putting a layer over top of what they have just been exposed to or what they have just experienced. See, there are ways to make the spirit and the soul absorb things that will cover up other feelings that are not necessary to have when you're trying to move forward in life. Because through the eyes of a child, you have to be very careful because they are absorbing everything. But you as an adult, you need to use your wisdom and use your knowledge to settle things down in a child when they've gone through something that you may feel that may have a negative impact in their life, or on their life, I should say. Because the benefit is not only for the child, the benefit is for us. And I will say that constantly, because when you're raising your children and you're getting older and you have to go to the doctor, or you need someone to take care of your financial responsibilities, or someone to look out for you, you want someone that's knowledgeable, someone that has wisdom, someone that has your best interest at heart. So why expose them or allow them to be exposed to something that in the end is going to hurt you? It's through the eyes of a child. It's a very, very questionable thing. You know, we have to understand that these children are our investments. These children are the future. Man, these children are going to come up with some ideas in the near future, you know, that's going to blow us away. You know, I go fishing with a little young man every so often, and I'm a, you know, he's I consider him a friend. You know, his name is Ryan, and if he's watching, hey Ryan, how you doing? You know, Ryan is he's my fishing partner, and you know, he and I, we will get together every so Friday, and we'll fish, and I'm just amazed. He thinks that he's enjoying me, but I'm actually enjoying him. I mean, the conversation that he talks about, the, you know, the questions that he asks, and you know, just looking at him and just wondering what's going through his mind, and then he'll come up and he'll say something to me, and it's like way beyond his time. I'm thinking, oh my God, this child is, whoa, this child is going to be something. I hope he's being guided. But you know what? He's being guided in the right direction. He's being, and I'm so happy to be around him, and you know, and I'm there for him, and I'm, you know, doing what I can, but through the eyes of a child. So just remember that children are very precious. Children are the future. Children will be the saviors for us. We want to keep that smile. We want to keep that glow. We want to keep that excitement. We want to keep that love in the hearts of a child so they can show love to us. I want to thank you all for tuning in. This has been the Ryal Thomas Show. See you next time. Thank you.